Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode in iCraft. Always takes a moment to find the find the right name for the series. So, you may notice the roof on this thing. That's because there's a roof on it now. And I've also done a little bit of work on the interior. It still needs some work, some more work though. I specifically dislike this ceiling, this interior ceiling. So I will change that at some point, but I'm not doing it now because I have other things to be doing and I need to not spend too much time on this. But temporarily it is done and it certainly looks better this way than without a roof. So what shall we do this episode then? Well, I was thinking either we could go over to our wall and actually get some stuff there done, or we could start work on the interior of our castle. And I do like the idea of the castle because I want my castle. my palace, I should say. It's a palace, not a castle. There's a difference. But yeah, I'm sort of thinking I want to start work on the courtyard here, and we'll build out from that because I sort of want the courtyard to be the primary focus of the palace. So that's probably what we're going to be doing this episode. Sounds fun to me as I say it right now. So I will go fetch my bed because it's becoming nighttime, and try and figure out a couple materials to be making that out of. The first thing I'm going to change, because I want to see if I can try some path blocks, and I need to wait for grass to grow then, is just going to be the floor. I'm going to see if I can get some floor in here. So I will place down some dirt, place some grass blocks, and hopefully they'll spread pretty quickly, and then we can see how the path blocks look. But in the meantime, while this happens, well, after I place this and while it happens then, I will work on other things around the courtyard. Okay, so I've got that going, and the next thing I was thinking about was how to get this to merge into the surrounding area once we build. And my first idea here is just some kind of a simple border around the thing where we can have stairs separating stuff out, and I've sort of been using these things as trim blocks, so hopefully they'll look good in the corners like that. Now, the next thing I wanted to try is well, I mean, assuming I can ever make these things. Okay, there we go. Don't know why it took me that long to find these things. Anyway, the next thing I wanted to try is sort of putting some birch around this. And I was thinking that because the border there is already sandstone, and I think birch would look good as a main floor. So hopefully it'll both blend in, yet also not blend in too much with the thing there, and hopefully we can get, okay, there they are, and hopefully it'll look good just in general. Now apparently I need to figure out what I'm doing here, because while talking, well, if you can call it talking, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, and while I'm doing that I have a very hard time talking about anything intelligibly. So I will see you in just a moment. So I've done some more stuff with the courtyard. Courtyard, that's the word. And right now, what I want to do is add some pathways around the rest of the castle, palace, and it's kind of hard to switch back and forth between the two languages. I record one clip in Spanish and then one clip in English, so sometimes my brain gets stuck in Spanish and then it doesn't transition well into English. Anyway, so what I want to do here is just basically continue the pattern of this thing over through the roads, and then we can think about what we want to do with all this sand here, because I don't want sand in our palace. Sand in our palace is not... Sand in one's palace is not something that seems very grandiose or fitting of a proper emperor. emperor or empire. So we need to change it, clearly. Now, another thing, I could put some of this border right there, but I don't know if I actually want to do that, because that would make the paths rather wide. And in order to do something with the sand area, I sort of have to have a sand area. Otherwise, it's seems kind of redundant, or I don't know. It seems kind of weird to do something special with a patch of ground this big. It's not quite literally that small, but you know, emphasis. Anyway, so we might not do any expansion there, and if that's the case, then we have to figure out something we want. We have to figure out what we want to do with the center, really. So we could do something. I'd show you, except I don't have any path blocks because I don't have silk touch, and so I can't get grass. What am I trying to do? See, like I said earlier, I can't speak and do at the same time. All right, I need more birch. So basically, we could put path blocks in the middle, and then hold on. We could put path blocks along the middle here, and then sort of on the outside, that would leave these 1 blocks right here, 1 block spaces, and we could put some kind of sandstone right there, and that would probably look all right. But I need to see it to see if it's actually good, and maybe test a couple things out. I have a couple problems with this. Mainly the grass. So the grass hasn't grown yet, right? And it would look much better if it had already grown and I had already tilled it into path blocks. But even when it does get tilled into path blocks, I do not think it will look very good. So we need to think of something better for this. And I already have, at least I hope so. What my plan is here is I will change these paths to be sort of a solid block. I also don't like the stairs, they're way too noisy. We'll change it to be a solid block, right? Maybe make this one skinny enough to fit with the length of this diagonal path a little better. And we will also make the whole thing an interior build. It will not be an outdoor patio, I mean an outdoor courtyard. Sorry, once again, Spanish. It will not be an outdoor courtyard, it will be an indoor celebration hall or whatever. So that will change. However, we've already done most of the work that's necessary, so I don't feel too bad about changing this. And just having laid it all out is also very helpful. So to the end of making an interior build, that means this part here will be a corridor going around the palace. This part here will be a room, so we don't have to figure out something stupid for the sand. And these parts around the outside as well will also be rooms. So I think that'll look pretty nice. And at least we have a nice plan. I have already started with the interior building. I do not like this bit. It looks too much like an awning. So we will get rid of that since it's indoors, right? No need for an awning when the rain is hopefully being stopped somewhere above you. Ideally, rain doesn't leak through our ceiling. That would be a kind of a crummy little palace thing. Anyway, the details for that, though, will have to wait until the next episode, because unfortunately that is all the time I have for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we will keep working on this in the next one. Take care, and au revoir.